Ready?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, it's Brian Bernasconi here, the other Brian, and on the set today to celebrate and commemorate our 100th show that we are just about to record today. We've got some great guests as usual. Silicon Valley Impact. Brian, you got something you want to say? You want to add?
For 100 shows, we have had just a ton of great people come through here, share their stories, share their insights. We're looking forward to 100 more. Yeah. Follow us. Keep the ball rolling.
Keep the ball rolling. Yeah, we have the most creative, talented, interesting, educated, motivated. I mean, just the best, interesting, most qualified people on this show. We love them. We love you. We appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button right now. Keep us going. It helps us if you subscribe or follow or do all those kinds of things.
Right.
Right?
Here's to 100 and to 100 more.
Skol! All right, see you.
See ya.
Yes, that was great.
That's all right. We got a camera. Let's roll.
I definitely could have called that.
That's the opening.
Here we go.
Welcome to Silicon Valley Impact. Brought to you live from Silicon Valley, California. Please, give a warm welcome to your host, Mr. Brian Sporks.
All right, let's light this candle. Brian.
Yes, sir.
That was awesome.
A little bit of chaos there at the beginning.
You had a thought like mid-sentence there. I heard the O. Like what?
Oh, because we had some chaos and my intro was a little different. I left out a line, but I don't care because we are Silicon Valley Impact.
Yes.
That's all we care about.
And we
right?
practice.
Valley Impact.
We practice the art of messy.
Messy, right.
Yeah.
We embrace the chaos.
We embrace the chaos. Well, that's what we are here in Silicon Valley. We are building rapidly and having a good time doing it, and we've definitely had a good time before the show.
Yeah.
How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing great, thank you. Yeah, I've been busy and just like on the edge of stressed because of all of the things I have to do. And I was going to go play pickleball this week, but I decided against it because, as you know, I'm going on holiday soon, and I don't want to take that chance and ruin my holiday because I've re-injured my foot.
Yeah, that would be that's a good call.
You just
you're
don't
adulting.
want to be overseas and limping around if you can help it.
I think that's a good call, Brian. I think that's the adulting call for you.
It really was a very mature decision for me.
Yeah. I got to learn a lot from you.
And how have you been, Brian? What's new with you?
I'm good. Just continue to engage with more people in Silicon Valley. I'm super excited about today's show. We had a great show last week.
I want to know, who have you been engaging with, or better yet, tell me your top engagement this week.
My top engagement this week.
Do you have a top engagement? Was it one of the people in this room?
No, I think I last saw Anna about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, and then she was in Oakland also about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. But geez, I'm drawing a blank, Brian.
Okay, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah,
sorry.
but I am excited. I am excited. Last week, or excuse me, I do have something.
Yes. What do you got?
Last night in Stack, we had an Open Claw event that went awesome. I mean, these guys come in. And they really build. Andrew Smith, who's been coming in and leading that charge. We had probably about 50 to 60 builders in there, maybe even more. But they play this hacking game and they get into it, and it's a lot of fun. Tomorrow, we're doing our speaker series, which will be actually last week when this launches. So we continue to do those events.
This is at Stack.
At Stack, yeah. So I'm super excited about that. So I want to give a big shout out to Chris Croswell from MidFirst Bank, who helped us put on that event, and want to thank also Red Bull for bringing in the drinks, and 12 Top Catering has done a lot of good for us. So big shout out. But let's get on with the show. We've got a great show today. I want to welcome everybody to Silicon Valley Impact. I'm your host, Brian Sparks. That is Brian Bernasconi. The purpose of this show is to have honest conversations about what it takes to build great businesses and communities so that you can make an impact within your own. Right. Nailing
within
it.
Your own, Brian.
Within your own. All right. So again, we have great guests today, so I'm super excited to dive in true Silicon Valley Impact fashion. I don't do bios, so I will let Anna and Qi introduce themselves. Anna, good to see you.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I was waiting for this moment actually about 3 months when you think about it, when we met first time.
Yeah.
So super excited to be here. So my name is Dr. Anna Zakowski, and I've been watching and listening to you guys for a while. I'm a founder. In 2013, I actually started a company with a social impact to help homeowners with their distress notes and mortgages to offer forbearance program. I partner with that with the state and receive a pretty large grant for like $49 million. And able to access more money through like housing division loans, grew that portfolio to over $1 billion under management. And we were able to help so many homeowners and actually turn a profit as well. So it was a perfect match, win-win for everyone. Exit that in like 2017, and then I was involved in quite a few amazing startups like AI frontier models, and I joined for almost 5 years Google, and worked there on preparation for a training of Gemini. And before it was called Gemini, it was like processors, that we were processing basically large data. Currently, I'm running a fund called Dragons and Angels, and those are over $100 million. Most of them, actually, we have a lot of assets deployed into just real estate and sponsoring building subdivisions in various different parts of the country and the world. And also 20% of our portfolio is purely in companies, startups, mostly also for grow companies as well. They are surrounded around that ecosystem. So think about fintech, prop tech, legal tech, and we are next month launching our well-sought equity platform. It's called Equity, and that really helps supercharge startups to get their fundings and fully compliant and legal. And there we have access to 60,000 of our accredited investors. The investors, there's no fees, no management fees, nothing. They can directly invest in their startups, in their companies and other assets. And I hope that's going to really change the world, the way how we invest, and help founders to finally get the funding in very early stage on as well. So.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Brian, what have you done the last 10 years of your life?
I'm going to Europe next week.
Pickleball.
Yeah.
Pickleball. Play pickleball.
Yeah.
My foot's better.
Yeah. I've survived. That's about as much as I can handle. I'm still here.
You and me both. And you're also looking kind of on the horizon of educating the next generation. Yes. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's my passion project. So I did a lot of research around credit, and especially for young people, figured out how they can improve their credit worthiness, and become, in the early 20s homeowners and leverage their credit for business as well. Mm-hmm. So I've been advocate working with the legislatures and with various different nonprofits and bodies in Washington and in the state to figure out the pathway, how we can change credit reporting. So we can add very basic things that everybody paying on monthly basis, like rent, like utilities, like cell phone bills, and to your credit reports, and do this in the robust way so it will show up in your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian credit reports, and it can come to the FICO score. So
nice. Wow. Impressive. All right. So we're going to double click on that. It's super impressive career, and talk a little bit about, what got you into this. I think when we chatted last, I asked you, hey, what is it that you love about all the things that you do? I love that question. And you lit up. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But Qi, good to see you.
Thank you for letting me be here. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Good to see you too, Brian.
No, I'm glad you could make it out because you're part of something that's really kind of taking over the valley and the world in terms of builders. So tell our audience a little bit about what you're working on.
Yeah, and I think I should have introduced myself first because following up that is kind of tricky. But I'll do my best. I love what you're doing. That's just so inspiring and amazing. I can't wait to dive into that more and hear more about it. I'm in Hacker Dojo right now at 501c3 nonprofit. It's been in the Valley for 17 years now. Mm-hmm. And it's a community space where people can come in and they can build together, they can connect together. It's open. Right now we have 200 different members and they're building. A lot of them are solo founders. Mm-hmm. And I found my way there in a very unusual way. And maybe entrepreneurship and innovation, a lot of people kind of get there in an unconventional path. I was gonna do organic farming and open up a restaurant right out of high school, and so I was doing that. I was working the fields. I was like picking grapes and raspberries.
Did you grow up in the Bay Area?
I did not. I'm from Los Angeles, so everything is beautiful in Los Angeles. Everything, we don't have weather. We just have movie stars. It's exactly like you see on TV.
By chance, do you know? It's true.
I didn't even see snow until I was like almost 20. So and I didn't know you had to wear gloves for it. So it was a great, beautiful life. I had no idea about like innovation and all that stuff. I just wanted to make delicious things for people at one point. So I go out to the farms and I start to do that whole deal. And I see like a huge injustice between the farm workers and the owners. And so that inspired me to try to figure out a way to systematically change things. So I go to a university and I figure the only way that I'm going to change things at a high level is through education. Mm-hmm. Because if we start when people are young and we show them the ability to not only to create for themselves, but to speak up for themselves, to know what their rights are, things like that, we can really make better communities. And so that inspired me. I did that. Flew out to Memphis. I heard you're going to go to Nashville.
Yeah.
I taught in Memphis, built community in Memphis, and I was doing fantastic work out there at a high school, and it almost all my students were getting A's. They were going to West Point, things like that, and we're talking about Binghamton, Orange Mound. Shout out to Binghamton, Orange Mound. Love y'all. And that community has the least amount of resources. And they're doing the most with them. It's amazing. Like they're all entrepreneurs and they don't know it yet.
Yeah, the hustle is real.
The hustle is so real out there.
Yeah.
And so, but it felt rote. It felt performative. It didn't feel real. It didn't feel like they were actually making a difference in their community. It felt like they had to leave to make a difference. And I had a few students and they really inspired me to understand like the roots of like creating homegrown community and being there. So many talented people.
So again, I love this topic of building community. So that has been a big part of building out the Hacker Dojo.
Yeah.
And you have how many locations?
We only have one location. It's in Mountain View.
It's a big name. I thought you guys had more than that.
We only have one location. It's had 4 locations over time.
Okay.
Again, it's a nonprofit. It's had like a lot. It's had such a tumultuous history and such a amazingly successful big ups and downs in technology and that all that stuff. And that's actually part of the thing in Memphis is when I started to realize like, oh, well, this roteness of schooling isn't right. And so I started to dive into innovation. And so from looking at like what a perfect schoolhouse can look like to trying to ask questions of like, how do I move from the schoolhouse into community? How do I close that gap? Brought me into the innovation education space.
Okay.
A lot of things happened. Opened up some really amazing programs out in California again after I got married and we wanted to be next to family. That's how I ended up.
How long you been here?
That's how I ended up out here about 13 years ago. And my wife's born in Oakland. She's Bay Area like through and through. She's amazing. And we opened up a STEM lab, with an equitable STEM lab. And what that meant is that it didn't matter if you had, $1 million to your name or zero. Didn't matter if you were an immigrant.
Why are you pointing to me when you say zero? And
it doesn't matter if you got $0 or you're a millionaire. It didn't matter, okay? You could be anyone, and you had a seat at our table, and that was the beauty.
So we'll unpack this because I think a lot of people think they have, like you're saying, a lot of people think they're removed from the resources that they need to succeed. And you've done that really well at the Hacker Dojo and building that out, building community, providing resources. We'll talk a little bit about, in a little bit, about who's it right for, who's a good fit, what kind of you guys are doing next, and then how can people get involved. I think that's a good conversation. And again, I can't say it enough. We'll definitely talk about how you've built community there and continue to build. So we'll do that.
To it.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Anna, I definitely... Again, when we last sat down, I just geeked out on your journey. It's so impressive. Talk a little bit. Let's go back a little bit because you talked about, what got you into entrepreneurship and where your roots were. Talk a little bit about that because I think I was sharing with you and I share with our audience all the time that immigrant founders are the best. They hustle. They're resourceful. They just grind and they have the best character. And this is what I want to say. Here's my selfish perspective on this. If we're going to have, to those who now live in Silicon Valley in the US, if you're going to have a global business, you are going to be an immigrant at some point going global.
I love that.
So you must lean into these stories that I love hearing and how they have done so well immigrants have done so well coming into the US. So that is what I think is the ultimate masterclass. And you exemplified that. And that's why I was leaning in when you and I were talking last. So jump in anywhere. What got you into this? Kind of like, what was that journey for you?
I think for the immigrant founders, I would say the ignorance is the bliss because you're moving here. You don't know how things work and stuff like that. And I think it's come down to advantage that you see a problem and I'm like, I want to solve this problem, but I don't know anything about the compliance, the legal, and all the things around it, all the different obstacles. They're like mountains and mountains of stuff that it's like, and you just go in it. You like kind of blindfolded, but your faith kind of leads you to it, and I think that's a kind of advantage. It's kind of weird, and then when you already halfway in, you like just solving all the different problems. But I think when people kind of grown up in this area and they are familiar with all the different problems, it's like they cannot even start because they are stopped before even they can move forward because they are familiar. Oh my gosh, it's so hard it's going to take to solve this problem, and there's no way that one person can even take on this. So for the immigrant, when you just move and you're like a fresh off the boat and you don't know this stuff, you're like, I will figure it out. It's going to be easy, right? So it's just like, it's naturally you don't have the blockade. And I think that's what happens when I built the portfolio with helping homeowners with the distress notes. It's the same thing. I see the problem and I'm like, I'm going to figure it out how to solve this. And
wait, you just said something that was really deep. And I want to click on what you just said because I want our audience to grab it. What I heard you say, and I can say this is true for me. Being in the U.S., we have already, we have the resources. I grew up in Silicon Valley. I have the resources, and I do sense at certain times, okay, I got to let go of something if I want to grow. But what you're saying is that no, if you're immigrating, it's almost like you don't have the blockades of letting go. It's like, no, there's where the opportunity is, and I want to go there and build. I think that's an interesting kind of characteristic to look at in our mind. It's like, what are you willing to let go of before going after? And so if we're going to immigrate out of the U.S. and do business overseas, you realize there's this big anchor of certainty and comfort in the U.S., right? That and when you don't have much, like you were saying earlier, Qi, is like people who have to grind and they kind of like they're not connected. I don't want to, for a lack of a better word, like they don't have the resources yet and they have to go and they hustle. They're not burdened with, well, I'm afraid I'm going to lose this or what I have. I don't know. I don't know if I'm butchering that, but I heard that.
It's the same thing. And, I'm meeting founders, they were born here and they immigrate to, for example, Europe or Bali or Thailand. And they were able to blow up there, getting huge businesses, open resorts and stuff like that, and they could not do in Michigan that or something like that, because it was for them was just the familiarity, right? And you familiarity was like, oh, this is not going to work. You're a little bit like discouraged, right? And I don't know, we just a creature of habit, right? So when we are in a new environment and we don't really see those challenges, we don't see those obstacles, and we think we're going to put like more into it, 100% in, instead of just in your own environment. You are so comfortable, you are so cozy, and the comfort, it's killing the entrepreneurship, it's killing the your internal push, right? And it's really cripple your like risk, makes you like very risk averse, and you don't want to take chances, right?
Yeah.
So
I love that. You're shaking your head. Chime in on it. What's resonating with you?
Sun Tzu is the art of war. Right?
Yeah.
You put somebody on dead man's soil, they're going to fight twice as hard. Right? There's no other option for them.
Yeah.
And so there is a sort of privilege or a superpower that you get. You get a power up by saying, look, it's this or nothing. Right. And so that's what I hear when I hear that. And they're going to work twice as hard. Right. They're going to be grateful for every single thing that they get. If you ever have to like just strip down your entire life, right, and go back to basics, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even have language sometimes to ask the questions that I need to ask. So what do? And they're always then thinking innovatively. So how can I communicate with you if I can't speak your language? How can I get the resource if I don't have the connection to the community, right? And so where are the spaces that you can come to as well? Hacker Dojo is an amazing space. We have so many.
I see what you did there. That was really good.
We have so many immigrant founders there, actually. I would say that 90% of the people there are immigrant founders because it's an open, safe space for everyone to come together and build. And we make this warm hum about it because it doesn't, for us, it's not about like where you're from. That's a really important part of your narrative and your story. But it's about like you were saying, what's the problem that keeps them up at night? And then what's the solution that they're coming with? And that's what's so amazing. If you look at the founder of Replit, right? His story is fantastic. Thinking about that same thing. He spent so much time just logging in. He decided to completely like disrupt the whole game. And now he's all over the world creating, Replit. And everybody knows about it.
Yeah. Okay. So Anna, finish the journey story for you. Did you have, I don't know, family that were in business?
No.
Did you have a mentor? Where did you begin?
I didn't, but the first thing is really to identify a problem and problem big enough that is worth to solve, right? And bold enough, and then you kind of figure it out, what would be the solution to that. And it's just and it's a trial and error and kind of experimentation phases that you have to go through it, and you really have to stick on it. First experiment, you try to get the funding, or you try to get the resources or people that might help you, assemble a team. And it could be a complete failure. So you really have to try again and again and again. And, sometimes, I remember sending like hundreds of emails and and then finally you finding someone like, okay, it's going to open the door for you and will provide you with the resources that you need, right? So that's how it kind of work. And don't be discouraged and never quit, right? So people, some of the right now, like I see some of the businesses, some of the startups are very investable, but the founder already quit. They're like, oh, we cannot get the users, we cannot grow, we cannot, and it's just the extra push. It separates them from success, right? To crossing the chasm. So you can see this everywhere in every business, every application. It doesn't have to be, technology. It could be like small business, whatever. And it's the same rules, right? So you have to you have to grind, you have to push, and you have to really break that wall and cross that chasm in order to be successful. And it's not easy.
How did you? I mean, it sounds like you have that naturally, but if you were to slow down. I mean, that was a great narrative. I mean, I love that. That's going to be turned into a short, by the way. But how would you tell somebody who hits the wall, if you were going to coach them, how would you say to, keep going?
Yeah, I would say to you have to first of all be like really obsessed, and righteous that the thing that you do there is for purpose. There you have a mission to fulfill. There, in your vision, you have to infactualize. You have to really recruit other people to help you as well, and you more people you're gonna recruit, and I mean this our serving for that. The more people will be able to help you, and then you're not by yourself, you're not alone, and you have 10 or 100 or 1,000 or a couple thousand people they're sharing the same vision, and they will help you whichever they can in order to make your venture successful. And that's what it is. It's like recruiting people, building the community. It's the key. I think it's 90% of the success. And I always encourage, and a lot of founders are very technical founders, right? They don't want to talk to people. They don't want to put themselves out there. But that's only one way how you can recruit and build a community, and that's going to separate you from launching your business or your venture and from just quitting.
Yeah. Do you see that, Qi, in the Hacker Dojo? You got a lot of smart people who come in there and they want to build, but then those others that have the mindset that Anna's talking about, like, well, not only do I have a great idea, like I want to. Like, you guys got to see this. Come in and join me on this and partner with it. Do you see that distinction happening?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All the time. And people are quitting all the time. And it's hard because you see social media, oh, this young person got $18 million or $20 million. And you're still like grinding away on some code or whatever that's failing. What do you want to do? You want to quit immediately, right? And so you got to ask them like to sort of like change their perspectives a little bit. Like focus on what did you do well this week, right?
Yeah.
What was the thing that actually worked out? Okay, what do you have lined up? How are you getting out there and talking about your product? And so that does scare a lot of people to go out and say, hey, this is me on the stage, and then also be receptive to modifications that come with those conversations. Putting yourself out there, making yourself vulnerable is very frightening because it's going to require you to probably adapt and change something that you've been working on.
Yeah. So real quick, so our audience knows, for context reasons, and then I want to come back to what you're going to say. What is the motions of somebody who joins the Hacker Dojo? They come in, they're in there for a set amount of time, or is it just kind of open, come as you will, and build? What's the experience?
It's all different ways. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. Okay, we are a charity, and our offering is free technical education. So last year, 2025, we gave over $400,000 of free technical education to the community in Mountain View and the larger Bay Area. Okay. Free. No one else is doing that. We offered 450 events for free. You can come in, open to the public, 10 a.m., 9 p.m. Right? That's an amazing resource. Some of the people who are building in there, oh my goodness, I can't wait to tell you about it. Like, have you heard of NASA? Have you heard of NSA? Have you heard of South Korea? They all buy products from some of the builders in there. Nico, he comes in there early morning. He makes the coffee. He goes to his desk right in the middle of everything, and he starts working on a project for the NSA. He sends it out to NSA. His product that he built there 15 years ago is called Jeb. I had another gentleman come into our startup mix and pitch event, and he talked to Nico. He started just organically talking about how now he's at Samsung and he's using this decompiler called Jeb. And then Nico's just like laughing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I made that." And the guy's all like, "No, you didn't. There's no way that you made. There's no way I'm talking to the guy who invented the application."
He's right there.
And he's right there. And so he didn't think, coming from Austin, right, and doing DEF CON and how entrenched he was, to just walking into the Hacker Dojo, just this like easy open space in Silicon Valley, that he was going to meet the creator of his critical tool for his Samsung engineering job. Same thing happens on Saturday. If you go to Saturday at Hacker Dojo and you talk to Yuri, oh my goodness, you're talking about one of the most amazing developers at Samsung working on GPUs in the R&D space. And he goes to Hacker Dojo on Saturdays just because he looks at the gap between what universities are training and what the actual industry needs. And he's like, I just want to close it. That's the only reason that he's there.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you were a college student and you walked in there, you could get a free masterclass from an expert right then and there. So all that is to say that it's different for everybody.
When you say open space, there's really a palatable feeling to that, where people come in and they're just open, and randomly you're talking to the founder of this company or somebody who has just landed in the U.S. right, and looking for resources and community. It's really just everything is there for you.
Absolutely.
What kind of programs do you provide?
Right now we have different programs. So programs are created by the community. That's the amazing thing. So if you wanted to come in and say like, hey, I want to create this housing program for Hacker Dojo, you could come in and do that. You'd become a member, and then we would help schedule you on the event schedule. Of course, it's packed. We do over 400 events. Some are small, some are large. And then we would support you in building the community out and giving back in the way that you see. Or if you're a student, right, you would be accessing it and getting from the community. So,
and is it just technical education, or do you teach them actually how to build the business as well?
All the things, but it all comes from the community giving back into it. So right now, I just left Manny Fernandez. He's the founder of SF Angels. He's giving a master class on investing and how to pitch to angels. It's happening right there. The accelerator at Hacker Dojo is going on right now. It's been going on for 5 weeks. This Saturday, there's going to be a showcase for those people that have been building inside of the accelerator. And the accelerator came out of a conversation with me and Barry Lee. He does Omnipath and he does Wove3, some amazing companies. And we were like, how do we bottle Hacker Dojo into something that translates and makes sense to people? Because it's been so many things for so many years for so many people. You name the person, they've been there. Apparently they've even talked about Hacker Dojo on this show before, which like blows my mind, because I'm all like, I'll meet people in random places. Oh, you're at that? Oh yeah, I know. And like I met the CTO of Slack, and he was like, oh yeah, I used to be in Hacker Dojo. I was like, really? And I was like, can we get a picture? So I'm always amazed, but at the same time, at this point, I'm like never surprised by who's been in there. The founder of Pinterest, all that stuff, right? Wow. So
love it.
You're ready to go here, Brian.
Perfect.
Let's see.
Welcome to the Ad Fairy.
Yeah, the Ad Fairy, exactly. And I'm trying to cue myself up here, Brian, for success. Well, I, of course, want to talk about Morales HR for just a minute, everybody, so hang tight while I tell you about one of the best human-centered recruiting and executive search firms in the Valley, in the country, really, Brian.
Yeah, and I was talking about talent.
We're talking, yeah, of course. I mean, and talent really is what? It's what, Brian? It's your most competitive advantage.
Yeah,
amen. It is.
Amen.
I mean, this is really everything, right? Everything is based on talent. Morales HR provides full-time contract roles across North America. Part-time, Morales HR connects you to the talent your company needs. These are real people. This is real experience, and these are real results. Morales HR. If you're falling behind on hiring, if you're frustrated by low quality candidates, if you're worried about the rise of fake resumes or fake candidates, you want to contact Morales HR, moraleshr.com. We love you, Morales HR. We appreciate you. Thank you for sponsoring this show. It's important to us. It's important to all of our thousands and thousands of fans. And a big shout out. Morales HR. Thank you.
Yes. Bye-bye, Ad Fairy.
Bye-bye. Bye,
right.
everybody.
Big thanks. Shelly over at Morales HR. Thank you for your partnership. She's passionate about talent.
Indeed.
Love her. She's the best.
Indeed, she does.
Yeah. All right.
As do we.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on.
All right. We're here with Anna and Qi. We're just geeking out on all things startup, community, building, and just, what I love about doing Silicon Valley Impact is just having great people in the studio, opening up about what they're building, kind of their pathway to success, so that we can hack. See what I did there?
Oh, yeah.
You're not the only one who can do that. So that we can hack the mindset of building and being a success. And so that's what these two are here doing, as are all our other guests, giving us insight into being a success. So we were talking about Hacker Dojo and building over there, a lot of ways to do great things. We'll tease the audience with how to connect with the Hacker Dojo if they don't already know how to connect with you guys.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. It's a handshake. You gotta know this handshake. We'll come back to that, but I want to leap back to Anna and 2000. I believe you said is 2000. 17 really kind of was when you launched, got the grant. Talk a little bit about the process. We don't talk a lot about grants here. Talk a little bit about what angled you in that direction, and is that something that others can take advantage of when building?
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's a very complex process. It's not like, first of all, there are available, a lot of money in the city, state, federal level. And you already should do something. So, for example, if you provide like a STEM training, ideally you've been doing this for a couple years. You know what you're doing. You already have infrastructure and stuff like that, and you submit a proposal for grant or for contract to whatever city, state, again, or federal, and there is application process, and there is different. You need to meet the deadlines. You meet to certain requirements, and there's a contest because there are probably about, I'm not sure, maybe 10, maybe hundreds of applicants that are putting very professional packages, and there is a body of employees, government employees, that will evaluate that, and there are different criteria. Sometimes the criteria are extremely visible, extremely transparent, so you exactly know what you're going into it, and sometimes not. So it's building the relationship with those agencies is extremely important. So you're very clear on the criteria, what they anticipate, because some of them that you minimum in the business you need to be like 5 years, and some of them you can be a 6 months. So that's a big difference. If you be in 1 year, you would not be eligible for for the first option, right? So that's very interesting. That's very important to understand that. The second is also to really provide something that no one else does, right? So something that will set you apart, that that what is your competition, what other maybe applicants may be applying for that contract or for that grant, and you have to set yourself apart. And I prepare actually a table, a rubric, said, okay, I know that probably the other parties will be applying for the same, but we are different, and that's what we offering extra that other companies don't have that yet, and that's how it benefits the stakeholders all around, right? And and also you want to make sure that, because for the regulators, it's extremely important, to audit the numbers. And the easiest you're going to make for them to audit the financials, audit the numbers, audit the performance, then it will be like, oh my gosh, so many, days and weeks and relief from them. So it's also important to add that piece as well, that how they will track your performance, right?
So complete transparency.
Complete transparency. So for example, and transparency in the numbers, so whatever, if your nonprofit is like serving meals or something like that to the communities, you want to make sure that this is the meals concert, this is the cost, this is how our hiring process, and that is visible for all the different stakeholders that can log in, the communities, they can see everything. Some information are public, some of them like behind a wall that certain auditors, they can log in and they can check in any given time, and that makes a win, really. That makes the win, the transparency of how the money is spent and the value you are adding, because not many organizations, they are doing this, and for the state auditors to going after year or 2 years after, when they go and they're auditing things and they finding and they're writing reports like, they could not account something, or it's just not you're not gonna get the contract back, basically, or a grant back, or whatever that is. So you're not going to be invited back.
It's a business. Yeah. I mean, it's a pitch. You're pitching.
It's an absolutely pitch. It's a pitch, and it's just same works if you would pitch. You're like a startup, 5 slides basically. Yeah. But then you show your full infrastructure, what you built, right, to support the execution of the program, right? So you need to, and now it's super easy with all the tools, with all the AI vibe coding tools. Somebody who is not a coder, hasn't built a website or dashboard before, it can really build this within a couple hours.
Yeah.
We talk about Replit, right? A great tool, amazing tool. And you can build this stuff, and you can, add the APIs with all your different vendors to make super easy for the auditors to see, to transparent. And trust me, everyone that will look at your platform, they will like, I love this because I love the transparency. I don't have to worry about those guys. I know when we finish the contract year, a couple years after, we those numbers are tracking on their own, and that team is very accountable for that. So
talk a little bit about, so that got you into real estate.
Yeah, so that was into it's as finance. So what is really the actually was to really find the right loans that were distressed, and also with the borrower profile that we could help. So it was mostly really data science, analyzing those big data tapes, and if you're in the business, you know that those are bought at those huge auctions, and they selling portfolio of those loans, billions and billions of dollars, HUD and Fannie and Freddie, and also private lenders and mortgage, and loan servicers that are selling basically those loans, and those are bulk purchase. So you really have a very short period of time to analyze what you have in front of you. You have to analyze the assets, the borrowers, make sure that, and price that correctly, because if you're not going to price correctly, it's a loss for everyone, and you're not going to be able to help anybody, right?
Yeah.
So
let me just for a second, let me bring our audience up to speed, because what you're describing, we did two things. One, talked a little bit about the real estate, talked about the grants, but what you described, and maybe a different world for some, but yet there's similarities. And one is, no matter where you're going in business, you're going to have to pitch. You're going to have to put together the numbers. You're going to have to put together as much information as possible to be clear about what you're building. So that's number one. Number two, we're talking about real estate and trust.
Right.
Not trust as in the vehicle for money, but trust in terms of, you had to build trust with these institutions in order to move the needle. Right. And you did really, really well at that. The one thing I want to really leap to, I hate running out of time with both of you, is that you did really well in this space with your company. I think you ran it for 5 years?
Yes. Yeah,
5 years. And then recently you built out the Dragons and Angels
Fund. Yes.
And fund. So talk a little bit about that, because a lot of our listeners are founders and want to be interested in that.
And I for the founders, it doesn't matter what you do, if you're for profit or non-profit organization, and how you securing your funding. It could be from grants or from private, from VCs or angels. The two things that are extremely important is the data mode. When I say for business, you need to know, and you have to have some proprietary data that will set you apart. Doesn't matter if it's a software, hardware, or whatever, what type of service you offer. It's like you need to have some proprietary data. It could be on your customers, on your product, on how you're doing business. And the second is it's called grow hack. How you are growing. What's your hack for growing? Like how you're going to accelerate by adding users, adding customers, adding whatever market you are servicing. How you're gonna increase the slice of the pie. And that's the two things that you really have to know how to do well.
So proprietary data and the growth hack.
And that's it.
Talk a little bit about growth hack, because I'm going to then leap to you about what you've seen in the growth hack space, because I think I love this, because I'm geeking out on bootstrapping and go to market lately. Talk a little bit about the growth hack that you're talking about.
I love the growth hack, and through actually community and partners. people that were just like putting a product out there and they thinking like, I'm gonna, I don't know, advertise on Instagram, YouTube, or whatever, and get users. It's very hard and it's very expensive, and but through partners. So if you partner with already companies or agency or anyone that already have database of your users, of your customers, and you can just absorb that and you can market to the already established customer base. That's how fastest you're gonna grow.
I love that.
That's what it is. So think about those relationships that you can have, like 5 relationships that could come from your partners, the vendors, and even the VCs. Like, don't take any money. It's like, hey, what are you going to offer me? Can you offer me those partnerships so I can get the massive repo of users?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love, that's another clip.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. Well, yeah.
Chime in on that
Absolutely.
one. What have you seen?
There's so many things to that, 100%. And I think about there's different strategies for hacking. I mean, you come into Hacker Dojo and you'll see different builders and different solopreneurs figuring it out in different ways, but definitely creating that community. Where do you find those communities to start with, especially around people who are going to understand it and treat your ideas safely and with respect? And so you can come into Hacker Dojo, and we create programming that does that. So if you come in and you do our demo night, right? The whole idea of the demo night is to demo something that you have on stage and get your first 10 users. So if you just had an idea and you haven't figured out how to get the first 10 users, boom, there's a solution right there. Pitch it to a crowd full of 60 or 100 people, see if anybody would use it.
Yeah.
And people have done it. I've seen keyframe.art. They're building inside of Hacker Dojo right now. They demoed it and they got 40 users that night. So that was one way that they were able to do it. And then I think just recently, they're creating an AI storytelling app. You can create yourself an AI, post it online, bada bing. Some of their things have already gone viral. It's amazing what you can do with social media. If you're doing something worthwhile, if you're doing something valuable for the community, videotape it and post about it. Tell people what you're doing. That's an easy thing that you can do.
I love it. I don't want to state the obvious here, but with Hacker Dojo, well, 2 parts, they'll come together. One, is there a wait list to get into the Hacker Dojo, or is it like come one, come all?
It's theoretically come one, come all. We have a very limited space right now. It's the smallest space that we've ever been in. The lockdown was almost a silver bullet for an in-person community like Hacker Dojo because you couldn't come together.
Yeah.
And so all the coffers were drained, and now we're ramping up again. So in the last year, we've gained over 70 members, and there's so many people building right now as entrepreneurs. We have a program, AI Stars, which is skills through alternative routes, where you can come through and you can build your AI skills. A lot of people who are being laid off, a lot of people who are afraid that their jobs are in jeopardy, come through. We show you how to build that.
Well, here's the hack. Here's the second piece that I think is important about you, and then I want you to chime back in. Anna's talking about partnerships as the fastest way to growth, the growth hack. People who come to you, that's their first partnership.
Absolutely.
You're coming through the Hacker Dojo. You have name recognition. You've been around for a while. You have resources. You have community. You have events. You're getting media.
You're right.
And this is the partnerships. I mean, it's like almost missing your own nose.
Absolutely.
That a lot of early stage founders need, that could get access to. I said, you're doing a pitch a little bit later, I guess. Yeah.
You got it right on. So Hacker Dojo's iconic brand is global. We have founders from all over the world that come in, and sometimes they come in just for a day to build so that they can say that they built inside of Hacker Dojo. So we are a marketing center inside of Hacker Dojo ourselves. We're just a bunch of geeks marketing each other and building and coming up with solutions. And it doesn't matter the problem that you have. We're the place where you can connect, genuinely build real community, and then build real innovation out of it. So Hacker Dojo is that iconic brand, and it is kind of like and easily your first partner in the Valley. Come on in, come one, come all. Space will be limited soon, so you might want to try to jump on the train now before you can't get on.
Well, that's why we have a lot of people who are heads of partnerships come on the show. I mean, we had the head of 11 Labs in here. We had head of partnerships from Uber in here, or at least senior partner in there. But I really think that you're right, that having those partnerships is huge. It's a big leap. So I definitely want to encourage everyone who is listening to look for those partnerships. But back to what you were saying earlier, Anna, is there's a runway to building relationships. Mm-hmm. How can somebody, this is for both of you, how can somebody who gives themselves a short or a small window to raise and build, right, because they only have so much capital, how do they build relationships that take a while? Where's the balance? Relationships take a while, but yet you really got to get up and going, because speed nowadays is huge.
I don't think they actually take wow. I think now it's easier than ever. I would say, like, if you're out there and go to every event as possible, you meet as many as possible people, I think an effort in follow-up. So yes, you're never gonna build a relationship if you don't follow up. If you don't gonna, meet mostly in person for a cup of coffee or whatever, go for a walk in the park, or see someone and talk for an hour, or having like a genuine conversation, right? So, and you really have to follow up. So I always say, I built like with Shelly Morales, the relationship was built in like 2 weeks, literally. I mean, I met her, and the next, she invited me to go with her to New York, for like a big event, women CEOs event. And then 2 weeks after, I invite her to go to Necker Island. So relationship really doesn't take too long, but you really have to stay on top of it. Yeah. And if you feel like really chemistry with someone, don't hesitate. You got to move really fast and keep that momentum going. Of course, you cannot build successful relationship with hundreds of people, but think about it, like if you go out every night, and in San Francisco, in the Valley, there probably happen like 20 events every night, and you meet at least one person. I guarantee in a room of 50 people, you will talk to a one person that you're gonna have some type of chemistry. It's like, oh, I like what you're saying, we have the flow, we have a good conversation. The next morning you book for a coffee, and you're gonna drive, and you're gonna make the effort to meet that person, and you're gonna do this for like a month. You probably gonna establish like 20 solid relationships. Yeah. And those people will introduce you to other people, and they will invite you to other events, and and it's the ball that start moving. So it's not taking, I don't think, take a lot of time or effort or resources or money.
I love what you said about the importance of follow up, and then I want to put together what you said earlier about, hey, post anything. And it's not necessarily, the perfect thing that you're doing about your business. Just post to be in relationship, right? Connect to be in relationship. Yep. I often say that people have their personal brand, and then they have their professional, their business. I really think the personal brand you're not selling. I mean, when you talk about, Shelly and you, Anna, and Qi, and a lot of people we have in here, they're very personal and open. You can talk about anything. They're not always selling. Right. They're not always, they're getting to know you as a person. You talked about going out to the island and having, personal experiences with people. You take that extra effort. That's the key to accelerating trust. You're not running up to an investor and saying, here's what we've been doing, here's my pitch, here's the problem we're solving, and you're not pitching. It's like, hey, what brought you here? Why do you love this? Right? There's that.
Yeah, and I always say the personal probably stories. Personal is 90%.
I'm gonna tease. You hold that. Okay. We're gonna. We have another visitor coming in.
Is it a fairy?
It's a fairy.
Bring it in.
Okay.
All right.
Let's have it, Brian.
Have at it. All right. So I want to remind everybody, and thanks, Ad Fairy, for reminding me to talk about Stack Ventures. Stack Ventures is transforming real estate into full stack ecosystem solutions for the East Bay residency and global startups. Backed by Baring Capital, located in the heart of Uptown Oakland at 1900 Broadway and 1950 Franklin. Stack Space has 2 towers and a data center, mind you, with over 1.6 million square feet of luxury living, event space, resort-style amenities, EV mobility, office space, and access to one of the biggest startup communities in the Bay Area. check out stackspace.com. That's STAK. That's stackspace.com to learn more about what they're doing over there at Stack Ventures and Stack Space.
That space,
my mind.
that space is so beautiful. I don't know if you mentioned the gym
amazing.
too. Oh my gosh.
The view.
I never wanted to leave. And the 39th
Do you
floor.
live there, Brian?
I do have an apartment there, but I live here in town in Los Gatos. Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
It's so great.
We got to get the
Yeah.
Hacker Dojo over there.
Let's get a floor of
And
Hacker
Anna's going to
Dojo.
be on our speaker series.
There we
You're-
go.
You're going to be there tomorrow, the one, but we're
I'm
going to have
gonna
her.
be there tomorrow
Yeah,
for
we're-
sure.
Could be tomorrow.
I'm putting that on my vision board.
I'm literally just telling everybody about it. It's so cool. I'm all like, oh my God, have you been there? And they're like, what is it? Huh? In Oakland? Are you sure? I was all like,
It's not what is it.
believe
It's like,
me.
no, not yet. I haven't been there. Yeah.
Yeah.
They know. Oh, they know.
They haven't heard
They
about
know.
it. Some of the people in SF haven't heard about it, but it's just amazing. It's the most
I
amazing
think some of the
place.
people in SF haven't really even heard about Oakland. Like,
That's true. That's true.
They don't know what they're missing.
They
The
don't know
town
what
is
they're missing.
awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully we can get you guys out there doing something. But we have a lot of space out there to build, and they're growing fast out there. All right. So before we went to invited our friend in, the Ad Fairy, you were going to launch into a follow-up on building and hacking.
Yeah. So we were talking about building relationships. Yeah. And I think it's really easy to build relationship. And like what you say about Shelly, be very open and be very personal. And even like I see some posts people on LinkedIn or whatever, Twitter. I love those personal posts. I love when people, a little bit lift it up and tell a little, about their lives and where they are and, what they're celebrating. I mean, we are as investors, we are investing in people.
Yeah.
The product is the product, but you are actually, it's the first thing. If you want to deal with someone, it's like you investing in a person.
Yep.
And those personal stories make, something happens or something not, right?
Well, this is your question,
Yeah.
Brian, to what Anna's saying right now. So I'm going to ask you both right now. If you weren't posting about business, or there was something we didn't know about you, what would you talk about?
I was stumped actually, but my son, he's gonna turn 2 last year. My wife put him into Toddler of the Year competition, and he made it to the final round. He beat out a whole region and
wait, doing what? Toddler of the Year? Like, did
you do this? You do this.
You just do like
Boxing, Brian. Don't you know kickboxing? Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Brian won that same competition, but only like a week ago.
And so he's in it again, and he's like, he didn't make it. He didn't get first place, but it's an amazing fundraiser. Actually, that's the whole thing.
Oh, that's great.
And it just helps give people a chance to give back to communities. And this little guy,
Where can we see video
photogenic.
about this, Qi?
Qi Diaz, Toddler of the Year. I guess you could Google that, and then everybody can vote for him. But he's amazing. He won a whole regional thing, which is just like, I was like,
Reigning champion.
he was pretty good. Yeah, he didn't make the national. He didn't win top dog, but he was in like the top 10 toddlers of the entire United States, which is like, that's a cool thing. And it's always fun to get to like rate babies. I don't know, Brian. You said you were in Australia. Australia has a history of rating babies, and they had a whole deal out there where they had to stop rating babies because it got out of hand. People got upset about it. But in the U.S., we still
This
get to
is
do
your
that.
son?
My son was rated.
Did he have the same awesome haircut as his dad?
Yeah, he has my hair, but it's not this hairstyle. This is a whole different hairstyle.
The back in the day. The back in the day.
I was like, I did a thing. I was like, we're not cutting his hair for a long time. Like, just let him enjoy it while he has it, you know. And then my wife was all like, no, I'm cutting it. He's gonna get a boy cut. So but he looks super cute either way. He's super adorable.
I love it.
So
That's a good
probably
post.
my claim to fame. Is like, I have one of the cutest toddlers in America, I guess.
That's so cute.
Anna, what
I
about
love
you?
it.
What do you?
You know what? Like, I have so many things like my daily life that I would love to post, but I told not to. some of them. Like, for example, like, one of the buildings, commercial buildings we own, the guy who is like sleeping outside, obviously homeless. And I approach him and I say, hey, I mean, if you want a job, you could take care of that building and we can pay you and stuff like that. And we actually give him little like a corner so he can crash there and sleep. And this is like happens like every single day. Like, and I love like figuring out how to, give people help, like, hand up. And it's just, but they told me don't post it because commercial building, he's supposed to sleep here in a corner room, right? But it's just stories like that, I think, about real life and real people, what we can do, and it just takes so little to help others and see them, to kind of achieve something. And the guy, it's been a very 6 months, been doing really good, and getting paid and getting more responsibility, taking care of more buildings, and it's just and I think stuff like that, it's just so deserved, like, to celebrate, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
I heard a great
Yes.
story. I'm going to share this because it parallels what you're saying. I don't remember where I saw it. I just saw it a few days ago. But there's a story of a celebrity auction. I think it came down to Ronaldo, the soccer player, and Elon Musk bidding for time with LeBron James.
Nice.
And they were going back and forth, and it got up to like 500,000, a million. It just went up, and finally Elon Musk backed off, and Ronaldo won it. Well, what he ended up doing was he ended up inviting like 20 underprivileged kids to meet LeBron James, and LeBron James and kind of pivoted. And they were supposed to have dinner. So they said, well, we're not going to do the dinner. He just played basketball. LeBron James played basketball with these kids for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And when asked Ronaldo, hey, what made you think of doing that? And he goes, my responsibility with my success and building wealth is to give others access.
Love it.
Right?
Yeah.
Providing access and opportunity for others. And when Elon Musk saw him later, he said, well played, well played. And I think that's exemplifies what you're saying. When you see somebody and you're in a position to help, and we provide that opportunity to access, I think for a lot of us in Silicon Valley who've done well, we should be doing more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's hard because you are afraid of, their things can maybe not go what you're thinking, and you don't trust people. But I would just go with an open heart and take some chances, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and receiving sometimes is very hard for people. So you may not get the reaction that you expect, but kindness is always remembered.
Right.
Even when you
it multiplies.
and it multiplies. Yeah. So do better, everybody.
I love it.
Yeah, do better.
Gentleman, Jacob Silver came into Hacker Dojo, got up on stage, pitched an idea. Doesn't have any sense of how to even create a website, but he was just passionate about helping veterans who are suffering from PTSD. He's like, we have to come up with a better way to help them. And so he got up on stage. He's like, I have no technical expertise. I've been going out and helping these Navy SEALs and these Army vets, and they're homeless and they can't get to their appointments and all this stuff, right? And so he's like, can somebody help me make an app? And that was his ask. That was his pitch, right? At Hacker Dojo, same night, somebody right then and there like spun up a web page for him, spun up an application for him, and then he was able to go to some of his investors. He's able to go back to the Army and say like, look, we want to create this. What do y'all think? And so now we're putting together a veteran hackathon to figure out how to hack digital things for vets. Amazing. And so amazing, right? And so he's there. He's brought some Navy SEALs through. These guys are amazing.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, come on in. Can I get you some coffee? Whatever it is. Here's a space. And some of the things that they're working on is they just need like a quiet place to sit and focus for a little bit of time, And then they're in there. They're so grateful. They're like shaking my hand. Like, oh, I'm so happy that this is here. Thank you so much. And it never would have happened if two things. One, Hacker Dojo wasn't open for everybody. Two, if Jacob didn't do what you're saying, right, which is go out and share and create and build community and be trustful, right? And then three, is like if there's not somebody else who's willing to give a little bit of time. For some of the engineers, building a website is not, it's like blinking for them. They don't even care, right? It's like breathing. They could do it in their sleep, and some of them do, as a matter of fact, with Claude and such.
Yeah, with Claude.
And so there you go, and now we're on our way to helping more and more people just by giving a little bit of,
Yeah. All right, we're winding down on time. I definitely want to ask two questions of both you really quick. We didn't even get a chance to cover everything, so you guys got to come back and talk about this. Because we didn't even get a chance to talk about you working on your next project with helping people become more financially literate. But maybe we'll do an article or we're going to do something else together. Yeah. But what's next for both of you, and how can people connect with you in kind of like 60 seconds? We'll start.
This Saturday, come to Hacker Dojo. There is a
Last
showcase.
Saturday, because
this Saturday.
We'll be 1 week.
We are a week from now.
Oh, we're a week from now? Oh, okay. Last Saturday.
So get in your
last Saturday, come to Hacker Dojo.
We had a great time.
It was fantastic. You should have been there. But then after that, the Vet Hackathon is going to happen. We partner with San Jose State University and Braven, and there's a cohort that's putting on a civic hackathon where they want to bring community members together to solve civic problems together. That's going to happen at Hacker Dojo. We're also having a fundraiser August 21st, and it's going to be a house party. Super Happy Fund House, where if you want to increase the amount of good that's happening in the Bay Area, you can attend that. I think tables are only $2,500, so easy way for you to give back.
But they can find more information on this at the website. They can
find more information at hackerdojo.org.
There you go.
Or you can email me at ed@hackerdojo.com, or find me, Qi Diaz, QIDIAZ, on LinkedIn or anywhere. I'm frequently in Hacker Dojo as well, and all around the Bay Area at so many different events. So
love what you're building. It's
reach
incredible.
out to me and let's be friends. Let's build community. Let's build a better Bay Area in the world.
Amazing.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Anna, what's next?
So we are looking for a great projects always to fund, and those are startups at different level, from seed to grow, and you can send me an email through website dragonsandangels.com or Anna@dragonsandangels.com directly with your deck, and I would love to see your demo and what you have going on and maybe advise you. And also we are launching Equity, a platform. I think July 15 we're going to be posting through Brian and having a big event, so you can probably find on Luma, and Equity is EQWITI.com, and hopefully we can go ahead find you in literally milliseconds. So
I love it. That sounds good.
Your next stream. So
all right, so that's pretty much all the ways that people can connect with you. You're on LinkedIn. You both gave emails. Great, love it. You guys are amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Love to have both of you back to again open up a little bit more on what you're building, because you're a wealth of experience and doing great things, building community. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. You're amazing too.
Thank you so much. You guys, two Brians.
Thank you, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Group hug.
Thank you.
Group hug.
I can't believe we forgot this at the top of the show, honestly. But we meant to celebrate it and we talked about it. But today is also our 100th show.
Today is the day. Congratulations.
Wow.
100.
So
Yay.
it's a little bit of celebration music there for you.
All right. You counted it out, Brian, huh?
Amazing.
We counted it out. You and I did it together. This
Love
is, 100. So happy birthday, Brian.
Happy birthday, Brian.
You with me?
Is advised.